Hey yo, what up? I'm so mad, I'm back, and today I'm gonna do something I've never done before, which is a build update. So as you know, about a week ago, I posted a video guide about a lightning arrow Deadeye to magic find tier 3 towers. So now this strat became wildly popular, a lot of streamers are doing it, a lot of people are doing it, and the first thing I wanted to do first is to apologize for my morning face. I've got bloated eyes. You will understand when you're my age. So as many of you know who played this build, prices for certain pieces of gear just went through the roof. I'm talking about the Helm Enchant, I'm talking about the Inspired Learning, and I want to address this here because you have to know that you have options, right? So for example, like I said in the video, was the Helm Enchant is more important than the Helm itself. For example, if you're just getting started, you don't have to have the perfect setup. You can get away with an under 5x build if you really want to, and it's by being smart about what you buy and what you don't buy. So first, get a rare helmet with the enchant, with the +2 lightning arrow. You don't need to get a Devoto, you don't need to get a rat's nest or any other helmet, just get the enchant. Second of all, the Inspired Learning. Honestly, there is a strat right now that's being done, which is just not going beyond at all, and instead go with Ambush on Zana device. So going Ambush means that you won't be facing beyond monsters too often, unless it's crafted on your maps, and that also means that you can get away without Inspired Learning, like way easier. And so this is when the build gets really cheap. So if you're getting started right now, you don't have the Inspired Learning, I really recommend trying out like Ambush Scarab on the skill tree and then Ambush Zana. That will give you a steady supply of 6 links of divines to sell, and this is going to be like good money. So I also want to address like my journey to Headhunter. So as you can see here, I do have the Headhunter now. So how long did it take me from start? So you have to remember, I started this. I had 5 or 6 exalts to my name. I had no money, my atlas was not completed, and all this money went towards buying the gear and buying my first few scarabs and things to invest in my maps. And it took me exactly 58 hours of farming plus 19 hours of prep to get my Headhunter, because I play more than most people, even though I don't play that much. So it's about 8 hours a day, which is still a lot. And this is all it took for me to self-farm a Headhunter in about 450 maps, 450 towers. A few things I noticed. Bisco Scholar is absolutely best in slot. Bisco Scholar here, I felt the difference whenever I put it on, and compared to like my Shaper neck, it felt like night and day. And it's pretty simple. The reason it's pretty simple because breaches have white monsters, cores have mostly white monsters, strong boxes have mostly white monster. And this is where we get our quant. This is where I get my nurses, my exalts. Once I finally had the full setup with greeds and Bisco, I was getting a card every 5 maps on average, which is ridiculously good. That's like to me the ultimate setup, but you have to be careful. This is gonna cost you money. If you want to fit both these items, I would say you have a few requirements like Devoto. The 20% movement speed here negates the 20% reduced movement speed, and it's not gonna feel too sluggish. You can also get a rat's nest that has move speed. And then I would recommend at least 2 awakened gems, like added cold and elemental damage with attacks to me are very important here, because losing the Iris will mean that you lose damage, and Void Fletcher as well. Now, we have the elephant in the room here, which are attributes. In my case, I had to allocate Whispers of Doom because those were cheaper, elemental weakness, but they came in with Stem Chain. This is like the hidden child, and I need to be applying 2 curses to have elemental weakness up at all time. But before this, what I did was allocate Retribution to get more strength and int. And you can also get like this, like those 2 nodes and those nodes here. You will need to invest in attributes if you want to use Biscos and Greed together with a Void Fletcher. But to me, this is like the ultimate setup. Of course, you won't have Headhunter, it's unlikely. So if you don't have Headhunter, you keep the Bisco, you keep the old skill tree, and you should be good. Again, this is like to me the ultimate MF setup. You can get another helmet, but you will be slow. Also, now, well, of course I get the Headhunter, so I adjusted my skill tree to get way more damage. So this is what it looks like right now. 2 cluster jewels, as you can see, that I self-crafted. The first one has Blanketed Snow, Disorienting Display, and Prismatic Heart. This is just like close to perfect for us. Even I would have preferred Blast Freeze, but I couldn't roll it. Those are self-rolled. And this is already pretty expensive. And the second one is Blanketed Snow, Prismatic Heart, and Widespread Destruction, which is probably one of the most expensive jewels you can get, cold. And all of those 2 jewels were crafted with 700 alchemies and scours. Pretty good deal, because you will get a ton of those currencies as you MF. The more you MF, the more alchemies you stack, scours, chance orbs, and you have to use those currencies. You have to use this to make some good money. I know I'm going fast. Also, yeah, I'm using a Lethal Pride to get like a bunch of strength. And here I'm getting Intimidate. I'm getting Endurance Charge on kill, double damage. So this is really good. And I divined it myself. It took me like about 10 divines, which I had a lot of. After all this time, I really managed to like upgrade my character like crazy. I'm using Awaken Gem, so Awaken Fork, Phantasmal Lightning Arrow, which is very expensive and not needed, Awaken GMP. I'm mostly like fully awakened at this point. I've got really good gear. And this character overall cost me, like without Headhunter, I would say anywhere from 50 to 100x, depending on if you craft, if you just purchase. The money. Let's talk about the money, because I've heard some of you, most of you are having no issues and you're making bank, but some of you are not. Maybe you're having like a bunch of dry streaks regarding nurses. Things you really have to look out and to sell. Well, first your divines. If you try the Strongbox and the Ambush Scarab and the Ambush Xanamod, you will notice like a lot of divines. You have to sell these. What do you sell as well? Alterations. Honestly, just sell them. Like you will get maybe 800 a day, maybe more. That's like one exalt. So boom, like you just add another exalt. Your contracts. I changed my filter, but for example, like it doesn't matter the level, but if you type deception here, all of these contracts there, they're 6 chaos each. All the deception contracts, 6 chaos each. Lock picking, there should be like anywhere from 3 to 5. So you can either run it yourself if you like running heists, that's really good money, or you can sell them. And to sell them, unfortunately, you have to go on TFT, but it is really fast, and I'm going to show you how. So you go to the TFT Discord server, and then you scroll down to Scourge SC Bulk Want to Buy. Then you go to Heist, and you scroll down, and you can Control F and search for Deception. Sell in bulk, that's like extremely good money. And finally, the Wretched. I know everybody likes gambling the Wretched just in case you get a Headhunter. I do gamble them because now I'm rich. You know, I put this in bracket because there's always like a bigger fish in the pond. But if you go to your div card, chances are you have a ton of Wretched. Here I don't have a ton, but these will sell for like 2 to 2.5 chaos each in bulk. So whenever you have like 100, this is going to be 200, 250 chaos extra. And it really adds up, so don't be afraid to sell stuff. Also leveling gems in offhands. I've been going Lightning Strike because Lightning Strike, people buy them for the 2020. They buy them for like 30 to 35 chaos and they sell relatively quickly and you will level them quickly. I go through about like 1.5 set a day of like level 1 to 20, 1 quality to 20 quality and back to level 1. I do this at least once a day. And don't forget to buy a Maloney's mechanism. I don't know how much money it is right now, but it cost me 40 chaos and allows you to level 3 more gems. So this really adds up. You will find Enlightens, you will find Empowers, you will find a bunch of stuff. Talk about what's coming next, because you've noticed Scarabs. These little things right there. First, they're super expensive now. Everybody's doing tower, everybody's juicing, and you know what? It's actually worth it. But buying them can be a grueling experience, and I'm tired of this. So I heard a few things, especially from one of my viewers called WogCog, who's been running his towers without Scarabs at all. None. And he farmed 5 doctors in 4 days. 5 times 8. 40 nurses in 4 days. Or 5 days. Without Scarabs. And instead, you just want to replace Scarabs with fragments. Today and the day after, I'm going to be doing an experiment, doing just tier 3 towers with fragments. No Scarabs at all. So this is really cheap, right? Like this is 4. You buy 4 fragments for 1 chaos. You can buy them in bulk really, really fast. This is the king of convenience. So I'm going to be testing on stream today, like in a few hours. Only fragments on towers. Keep the data. See how many nurses we get. See how many exalts we get. But I think we're going to get way more exalts than nurses because the quantity on our map is going to be so big. It's going to be Chisel, Alk until 25% pack size, Fat Orbs, and then we run our T3 towers. I know this is a lot of information, but it's kind of like, you know, I'm new to this format, so if I'm going too fast, you guys let me know in the comments. Regarding tower tier, there is like a few rumors saying that Mage Blood cannot naturally drop in tier 3 maps. And apparently it would be a high level 75 only drop. And there's a few exceptions to this, right? Like Delirium, for example. And so there is definitely an argument for tier 6 towers, which is a little bit harder to sustain and a little bit harder to clear. But there's an argument for tier 6 tower and tier 10 tower. But the thing is, like, I tried tier 10 towers and they were pretty difficult to sustain. And knowing that each map is 10C each, I'm going to need to do further investigation, but today and tomorrow, I'm going to be sticking to tier 3 because this is the easier for you guys to replicate. I know, I'm tired of buying Scarabs, and I'm sure you are too. This thing is expensive. It is hard to purchase, like no one is answering, and it's very frustrating. I want to announce my next build. Chat has voted. The next build will be Cast on Crit, Ethereal Knives, Occultist, Low Life. This is going to be a high budget, really high DPS build. Kind of similar to the Cast on Crit Ice Spear that we've seen, except this time we're going conversion on conversion. So we'll be converting with physical to lightning and lightning to cold damage to do like tremendous freeze and tremendous damage. We're talking like 30 mil DPS here without any buffs. And well, this is going to be an expensive build. I bought the Shavs. So I estimate I need about like 30 more Exalts to get going to really have like a strong solid build with Awakened gear. You know, like Mavened up and all this. So this is going to take some time. So come join me on Twitch, twitch.tv/somad, and I'll be farming solar towers just like you. And we're going to be vibing to some good music and some good mood. Overall, this league for me is still 10 out of 10. I've been enjoying it a lot. I think the league mechanic is great, like the Scourge monsters. It's perfect for low tier farming, for low tier MFing, and this has always been my favorite activity in the game. So again, thank you so much everybody for watching. If you have any question, you know I'm doing my best trying to answer them in my Twitch or in my Discord whenever you're here, if you're in the Discord. And I really recommend you join because we got a lot of cool people in there. So that's gonna be about it for today. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you very soon, guys. Bye.